Greetings once again, meine Liebchens! Such a pleasure to see you here once again in the garden during the spooky time of year where you can see the goblins and feel the vapor of the mist in the air and stuff. And this right here, this beer, has some mystical energy that you can definitely feel. The foreboding dark of the moon from Elysian Brewing Company. Now, I tend to be more of a fan of stouts in general than of coffee beers like that Punkachino that we just checked out. So I actually am more looking forward to checking this one out again. Just like the Punkachino, it's been quite a while since I've had this, but I do remember really, really enjoying this. I am a huge fan of stouts, so even this one only has an 88 on Beer Advocate as opposed to the 90 plus that the Punkachino had. I'm actually looking more forward to trying this one again. I do remember that the flavor has a real bite. A bite, because it's got a wolf on it. Yeah. The little canine joke there for all you dog lovers out there. I love dogs, even though sometimes they're very annoying. The pour. This dog ain't annoying. This is a nice dog. This is a good boy. I know that. This is a good boy and girl and etc. Oh yeah, look at that pour. That is fantastic. This has way more of a head than that Punkachino did. The second beer of the 12 beers of Halloween. And actually, the similarity is definitely present in the aroma. It's got a kind of a similar pumpkin spice mix. There's no coffee though. This is more of a burnt wood, like a smoke. It's pleasant, very pleasant for sure. I almost took a sip, but I just kind of want to savor that aroma one more time. Yeah, the aroma is very pleasant. It's got a almost like Eastern, like cooking kind of a aroma. It's very, very, very aromatic. Cheers. Okay, I'm not going to jump in right away and say, oh, there's no funk in this, because yesterday I said that with that Punkachino, and it ended up being a little bit of a Funkachino. So I am not going to go there with this one, not just yet anyway. But on the first sip, I'm getting a lot of roasted malts, very chocolatey, very sweet, but not as heavy tasting as the coffee beer, interestingly enough, even though it's a stout. It's very light tasting for a stout. It's definitely heavier than something like Guinness Extra Stout, but it's light compared to that coffee beer. Less astringent. Yeah, definitely not getting any funk, at least not yet. More roasted malts. A little bit of the chocolate. Definitely bitterness. Quite a bit of bitterness, I will say that. If you're somebody who doesn't like bitter beers, this will not be for you. This is not a Budweiser or anything like that. This is not for your typical lager drinkers. If you're somebody who likes pounded Heinekens or Coronas on the weekend, you may not appreciate this. Or you may learn to appreciate it if you have one or two of them and you take your time. This is something that you should really take your time with. This is not meant to be chugged or slammed or anything like that. This is not meant for a hot day. This is meant for the cool autumn nights here in the Northeast. Which is interesting because it comes from Seattle. It's pretty cold there too. But yeah, absolutely. These flavors are absolutely perfect with like hanging out with your friends on a cold, spooky night watching horror movies, like Halloween, Friday the 13th, whatever, those classic franchises. This beer will accompany those nights to a T. This will be the big, scary T pose, Like Jesus. Okay, that's too far. I'm sorry. I immediately apologize for that. But my goodness, this beer is fantastic. I would seriously recommend you guys check it out. I'm just going to take one more big gulp off of this sucker. Woo! Okay, there is a little bit of pumpkin-y funk now starting to come through as it warms up. It's becoming more apparent. But I would say that it's not overwhelming at all. There was actually more of the funk definitely in the Punkachino. This is more subdued. And it has more of its own sort of character going on. I think I definitely prefer this one. Although it's probably not as much of a gateway beer. The Punkachino I could see definitely appealing to people who are into Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, any kind of like coffee, like pumpkin spice latte coffee specifically. Whereas this is more for the beer drinkers, the real craft weirdos like me. The weirdos. I'm going to take one more real good one and give you guys my final thoughts here. Yeah, now there's almost like elements of stone fruit coming out, like plum or dates or something, like really deep flavor, almost wine-like at the back end, which I enjoy. I appreciate that as somebody who really loves beer. I could only have a few of these, maybe 2, 3 max. But for what it is, you know, it's good that there's only 2 or 3 of them in the 12 pack, because that's all I'm going to want. But it is one of those beers that gives you a lovely sort of buzz, because it is over 7%. So, you know, if that's what you're looking for, if you want to get a nice toasty buzz on a cold night, this will do the trick in style. Woo! Thank you for watching. Please click the subscribe button. Auf Wiedersehen. Thank you.